Solving absolute value equations. Okay, there are three cases that can really happen here, and if you learn to recognize these cases, the process can become much faster. The first case is the positive number case, where the number that we're equal to, the number on the right-hand side of the equation, or the opposite side from the absolute value, is positive. And in this case, you will have two solutions. There will be two solutions. I like to diagram them as my positive solution and my negative solution. The positive solution is to write down simply exactly what you see. 4x plus 6 equals 2, but with no absolute value sign. So it changes it from an absolute value equation into a simpler linear equation. Now subtract 6 from both sides, negative 4 on the right and 4x on the left, then divide by 4, and x equals negative 1. That is one solution. For the negative half of the equation, on the negative side, you write down exactly what you see, but you make the number negative and you flip the sign over. Now that's very important. You flip the sign over, but since it's an equal sign for this problem, you don't actually see any change. But we will see a change if we deal with an inequality, which I'm sure we will later on. So, to solve this equation now, the process actually turns out to be almost identical if you think about it. We're still subtracting 6 from both sides, but the number on the right, instead of being the positive solution of 2, is now the negative solution, the opposite solution of negative 2. So the arithmetic changes slightly, and we get 4x equals negative 8, divide by 4, and x equals negative 2. So it looks like we're getting solutions of negative 2 and negative 1. Okay, let me check these just to make sure. It makes me nervous. 4 times negative 1 is negative 4, plus 6 is 2. That's a check. And negative 8 plus 6 is negative 2. And the absolute value is a 2, so that checks. Okay, not so nervous. Case number 2 is the one solution case. So the other one was a positive sign, or positive number. This one is when you get a 0. So if you're trying to set it equal to 0, there will only be one solution. So you could still split it into a positive and negative equation if you wish, but since the negative of 0 is 0, we really only need to look at one of them. So I'm just going to go 4y minus 24 equals to 0, and I'm not going to bother writing down 4y minus 24 equals negative 0, because that's the same expression, same equation, sorry. Now add 24 to both sides. 4y equals 24. Divide by 4 on both sides. Y equals 6. Only one solution when you see a 0. And the third case, the one that you'll learn to love the most if you can recognize it, is the no solution case. So recall that absolute value is always going to be positive. Effectively, it represents a distance, whether it be on the left or the right on the number line. And any distance will always be non-negative. The shortest distance between 2 points would be 0 if they were exactly on top of each other. So when is the absolute value of anything ever going to be negative? Never! There is no solution if you happen to have a negative sign as what your absolute value is being asked to be equal